Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today we've got a Wilt Chamberlain build, so this will be a center build. This has been a much requested build. I'm sorry I can't get to most of the comments, but I have seen some of them and a lot of them have been requesting Wilt Chamberlain. So we're going to make him today, so make sure he's a center and we'll move on to the body settings. So on basketballreference.com he's listed at 7'1", so we're going to push the height to 7'1". In terms of the weight, he was a very big guy. You know, he was listed at 275 pounds on basketballreference.com, but we're actually just going to drop it down to 243, and that's just to help with some other attributes that I wanted for the build, because you know he's a very versatile player, very athletic. Back in the day, if you've ever seen clips of Wilt Chamberlain just running around on the court, it's absolutely freakish at his size, and we all know he was an athletics champion at high school or college. So we want to make sure he's a bit lighter so we can boost some other things. And the wingspan, we're just going to push to the max, which is 7'11", just to boost some finishing and things like that. Body shape, we're just going to go with defined because he was quite ripped. And we'll move on to the attributes. So Wilt, as a player, was definitely an inside scorer. You know, they didn't even have a three-point line back when he played. So most of his shots were definitely, well, they were always twos. Most of them were coming from near the rim. Now there is a video of him actually doing sky hooks from the corner of the court, so where the corner three would be, and he's just sinking them time after time. But most of his shots are coming in close, so there'll be no shooting with this build, mostly finishing and defense. So what we're going to do to start off with is push close shot to 85. Now this could easily be higher, but I don't think it necessarily needs to be. You know, you're 7'1" with a max wingspan, and you've got gold fast twitch, you know, gold masher if you're coming up against smaller centers. You know, you don't really need to go any higher, and to get, you know, to unlock the next badge tier of fast twitch, you do need a 96 close shot, and that's quite expensive. So I don't really see the point in pushing it past gold. Now in terms of driving layup, we're going to push that to a 76. So at 70, you actually get the dominant big layups. On 2K Labs, I think they've got it listed at 80, but when I go into the game on my center, it only requires a 70 driving layup for the dominant bigs. You just might want to double check that just in case. But we're just going to push it actually to 76 just to get the extra badge and also silver acrobat. I just had the points left over to get that badge tier up a bit more. So if you want to, you know, not only be able to dunk but also get layups as well, silver acrobat's there in tier 1. Now for driving dunk, we're going to max this out to an 86. So of course at 84 you get the pro contact dunks off 1 and 2, and you are 7'1", so they're going to be great. You get the silver posterizer at 85, and of course gold limitless takeoff at 86, which is in tier 1. So that's going to be really useful to have in tier 1. Now for standing dunk, we are going to push that to a 90 to unlock the elite big man contact dunks. So that's going to be great to have them. And then post control, we're going to go to 87 to unlock those Hall of Fame post badges. So, you know, Hall of Fame back down punisher and Hall of Fame drop stepper. And as you can see, pretty much everything is gold except for the layup badges and posterizer. So, you know, slither finisher and acrobats silver, but they'll still come in handy. You know, they're not too expensive, they're in tier 1, and then posterizers in tier 2. But mainly, you know, your post badges are Hall of Fame, you're finishing around the rims gold, you've got, you know, the big man contact dunks and the pros off 1 and 2, so you should be finding finishing very easy with this build. Now in terms of the shooting, he wasn't a very good free throw shooter. He only shot around 50% from the free throw line, so we're just going to push it to a 70. I just find 70 is quite a decent rating. You know, free throws are a bit difficult, but 70 should probably reflect how good he was at the free throw line. It's a bit hit and miss having it at 70, but I think, you know, good timers of the free throws will do fine with a 70. Now, in terms of playmaking, he did lead the league in assists 1 year, which is quite remarkable. But what we're going to do is... Actually, I'm not sure if he did. He might not have, but he definitely averaged 8.6 assists in 67-68, so he could definitely get assists. So what we're going to do is push the pass accuracy up to just the standard 76 to get that gold break starter, and that's all we're going to do for playmaking. So you won't get any of the tier 3 badges with this build, but you will have the gold break starter to go with, you know, silver quick first step, you know, floor general. There's lots of things you can do. Now for defense, you know, this is really where the build's going to shine. You know, Wilt could score at will, but he was probably a better defender than he was scorer, and that's scary to think about. So we're going to push interior defense to a 90. Now at 88 you get the gold post lockdown, but at 90 you just get the extra badge point. So I think that's worthwhile. In terms of the perimeter defense, we're just going to push that to a 58. You don't unlock anything really by pushing this up except for the extra badge point, and it's really cheap to do so. Same with steel. You can't get silver interceptor with this build. Even at, at 7'1", it's impossible to have that. But what you can do is push it up to 62 to get the extra badge point. It's also a decent rating. Even with the bronze interceptor, you may get some steals here and there. In terms of the block, we're going to push that to a 93. I would have loved to have got this to the max to unlock Hall of Fame Anchor, but because he's such a good scorer as well, you can't put everything into defense and still think you can have decent scoring on the other side of that. So I wanted to create a balance, and 93 blocks going to be fine with the gold anchor to go with 7'1" frame with a 7'11" wingspan. You should be fine blocking shots. In terms of offensive rebound, he did lead the league in rebounding 11 times and has a career average of 23. So this definitely needs to be high. I've just chucked offensive rebound to a 90 to unlock that badge point, and then defensive rebound to a 99 to get the Hall of Fame rebound chaser. And then for physicals, we're just, he was very quick. He broke a lot of athletic records in his school days. So we're going to push speed to the max and also acceleration to the max as much as we can. Now for strength, we're just going to bump that up by 1 because of the point left over, and I just chose to put it on strength. Now you might look at strength at 66 and think that's pretty low, but because you've got the Hall of Fame box out beast, a lot of other badges, you don't need to max this out. The box out beast is going to boost your strength, and you can't go over 99. It's not like you can put your strength on 99 and then have Hall of Fame box out beast and expect to have like 140 strength. It doesn't work like that. It can't go above 99. That's the cap. So there's no real point increasing strength too much. You just put on Hall of Fame box out beast and you'll be fine. But it does require you to actually have that on to have the really high strength. So just something to think about. If you want to change that, by all means, tinker with the build, get the strength up. But for me, I have a center with low strength, and I find I'm perfectly fine getting heaps of boards. And in terms of vert, we're just going to push that to a 75 to get the contact dunks, and the rest is going to go on stamina for 90 stamina, and that's the build. So in total, you have the 26 finishing, 0 shooting, 10 playmaking, 31 defensive badges for a total of 67 badges on this pretty much interior beast. It defends the rim really well, grabs heaps of boards, and has a lot of ways to finish at the rim. Your Hall of Fame post moves, big man contact dunks off the drive, and also a really good close shot to go with, gold break starter. It's a really triple double threat type of build. We'll take a look at the takeovers. I've just chosen stuff blocks because, they didn't track blocks back then, but, we all know he probably would have averaged 5 or more blocks a game. It's just crazy to think. And then, of course, power backdowns because he was very strong and very good in the post. But as you can see, you've got shades of Robert Parrish, Clint Capella, and Rudy Gobert. So a lot of the defense between these three players is similar to that of Wilt Chamberlain. Really good rim protectors, shot blockers, grabs heaps of boards. But of course, Wilt was a much more offensive threat. But you've made a defensive anchor. We'll take a look at the badges. So for finishing for Wilt, I'm just going to start off by maxing out back down Punisher on Hall of Fame and then drop stepper onto silver just to get the 10 points. Then down in tier 3, you can call fast twitch, put rise up on gold. You've got your 2 tier 3 badges. Mashes there, but I don't think that's particularly important for this build. And from here, if you want to make a really beastly post player, you can put on drop stepper on Hall of Fame. Posterizers there as well. And with the 3 left, you can put it on aerial wizard to catch those lobs. If you want to have more, flexibility off the drive, you can always put some more badge points into finishing. Maybe drop these down a tier to get limitless takeoff. Obviously, acrobats there, fearless finisher, slithery finisher as well. There's a lot you can do, and you've got the 26 points to really specialize in either post moves or attacking off the rim and finishing at the rim. So it's really up to you what you want to do. In terms of shooting, I do recommend if you've got the flexibility and you're happy with your badge points and badges, to put it 1 extra into shooting just to get slippery off ball on bronze. It's just really helpful to help run around the court on offense. Now for playmaking, you've got 10 points here is a lot when you consider that you can core break starter and still have 10 left over between tier 1 and tier 2. From here, you can just take luxuries. You can put quick first step on silver. know, my center's got low ball handle and pretty much 25 speed with ball, and all you have to do is catch the ball and walk around centers as they close out to you. Some centers still close out to you even though you don't have any shooting, and you just walk around them and finish at the rim. You know, bailouts there as well is a luxury to have. You know, clamp breaker also. You know, floor generals there. Sometimes you play with point guards or guards, particularly on the park, that don't even have this equipped. So if you wanted to do that, that's perfectly fine. But I just might choose special delivery, because if you want to play in the post, you may get teammates that do backdoor cuts and you can actually chuck lobs to them out of the post. So this could be a really handy badge to have. Now for defense, this is really where the build is going to shine, and I'm really excited about the badges that this build can get. First off, we're just going to push Box Out Beast to a Hall of Fame. And then from here, we're just going to put on some other things that I like. Intercept is great, and Off-Ball Pest, just to get the extra 4. And then from here, you know, you're going to core Rebound Chaser on Hall of Fame. You can put Pogo Stick on Hall of Fame, Anchor on Gold, and still have 6 points left over. You know, brick walls there if you want it. I still think screens are perfectly fine without this equipped, because I particularly like having the animations that Chase Down Artist gives, even on bronze. And then from here, you know, you can put this to Hall of Fame if you want. It'd be really intimidating, even when players get past you. Or, you know, you can take some luxuries and put on Challenger to help challenge shots on the perimeter if you ever get switched. You know, Pick Dodgers there if you ever get switched and get rescreened. And, you know, Workhorse maybe to catch, you know, some loose balls. Ones that don't get rebounded, you can go out and get those. But that's a really elite level interior defender with some luxuries to help defend on the perimeter as well. All in all, that's the build. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a really great day.